Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. This is the review, and I will be reviewing everything from reality TV to scripted shows because I love TV. Fun fact, I was a communications major at the University of Washington, Tacoma, and I don't know about the other UWs, so there's one in Seattle, one in Bothell, but at the one I attended, it was mostly studies around film, as it pertains to race, gender, class, ethnicity. So I love watching shows. I'm sure whoever's watching this, y'all love it too. And so I'm here to review the things. If you have any suggestions that you want me to watch, throw it down below in the comments. Subscribe, like, share, all the things. But today, so y'all know that Love is Blind just came out, right? And we've had 2 seasons. I'm pretty sure nobody's together from the last season of Love is Blind. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. The only people I know that are still together from the first season of Love is Blind are Lauren. Ooh, what's his name? His name is blanking. But Lauren and Cameron, and the other two people, I forget their names, but they're still together. I think that is all. And again, correct me if I'm wrong about last season, because I don't think anybody actually stayed together. So here we are, season 3. They showed us half of the season, and I just want to say that it's interesting that people fall in love really fast. It's not impossible, but let me tell you something. There's an actual word for it. It's called limerence. When you first meet someone and you're like, oh my God, I'm so in love. It's but really y'all don't really know each other. So I think it's loving the idea of people while also you're exerting this there's chemical things that are happening that are oh, we like these things about each other. Yay, it's all great. Our hormones are doing things. So look up limerence if you don't know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, you be like, I love you. And my sister was we were talking about the show, and she was saying that they date more than we actually know. And that's fine. Maybe it's because shows be condensing stuff, they be breaking up parts. It's a reality show, and they be doing the things, they be creating stories. So with that being said, just know I don't know how blind love is, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna start off with Ballerina Girl. I don't know her real name. What's her name? Ballerina. I know her name. It's not in my brain. So she dated 3 guys, I think, throughout the thing. And for me, I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like she was on the proud, I have to be on this show, more than she was I really want to get to know people. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But because it was Cole was one of them, and I think Bartise was the other one. Right? No, it was Cole and tall dude, I forget his name, that chose the other girl, who's Israeli. So I forget his name too. But yeah, so she don't give me good vibes. I feel like she chose Matt, but I think she was in desperation mode more than she was really trying to love someone and wanting to be in a relationship. I think she was rejected twice, and it just was I need somebody to have to show that I'm not this rejected girl on the show. That's my personal opinion. And I think Matt is genuine. I think that Matt was there for the true reason of being in love and wanting love and wanting that, because he's been hurt before. He was in a 10-year relationship, that broke his heart. And like, he was just like, I'm not here for the games. I'm here because like, I really want to be with someone. So she don't give me good vibes. And I just felt like even when they were meeting, it was not good. Like the idea, like the Cole thing was just a mess. It was already a mess. So I don't see in the next, part of what we're gonna see, I don't see her doing that great in my eyes. I don't think they're gonna last. Because even in the preview, Matt was like saying some things, and her and Cole was saying some stuff, and I was just like, see, I knew it. I didn't trust her from jump. I said it. I said it when I was watching it. I was like, nope, I don't trust her. Oh, and quick side, she was like, I'm like this idea that like I'm the pretty girl and guys go for me for looks, but that's all, they usually go on and marry someone else. And then somebody tried to go deeper with her and she didn't want to. And that's why they said, well, no, I think it was Cole. Cole was like, well, you don't like allow me to go deeper with you. And that's what I want. So on to the next. So I was confused about that. She was giving like mixed signals, and I don't really trust her. Okay, next week we're gonna talk about, we could talk about Bartise and Nancy. Let's go there. Okay, so Bartise, Raven, Nancy, Andrew. Okay, things were happening, and Raven, honestly, she was literally doing jumping jacks when this man was like pouring his heart out. And he was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, I can't deal with this. And I'm not even mad, because when you're being vulnerable, whether somebody thinks it's like light or not, like you're being vulnerable and you're sharing your heart, and you want to know that that person is going to listen to you, because you're trying to literally get married. Like the purpose of it is to get engaged and get married. So for her to be doing jumping jacks and he's spilling his heart out, this 25-year-old is like, black man is like, oh, like I'm sharing this part of you that broke my heart, because it hurt him. It doesn't matter how big or small someone else thinks it is. If it's important to them, then you should allow space for that vulnerability. So then he was like, nah, I can't. It's not her. It's Nancy, because Nancy allows me to be free, and I could be vulnerable with her, and I could share my heart, and I could do these things, and blah, blah, blah. Right? So the other part of this, though, is Nancy is also dating Andrew. And I said it from jump. I said, you need to choose Andrew. Not because of Bartise's age. Not at all. Because Andrew could give her the stability and the adventure that she's actually looking for. And, what she wanted. And Bartise was not going to give her that. And again, it's not an age thing. I just felt like their vibe was different. And I feel like that was like more important than what Bartise was given. I'm just saying. And then fast forward to Raven and SK. Now, Raven she's beautiful. The yoga thing, like workout, that's how her and Bartise were relating to each other. And they knew like we both fine basically, and like we would be this couple that like, hey, everybody sees us, we this. I don't think it would work in the long run, because I think that like, yes, you could be beautiful, and yes, that's who you would talk to normally, but like in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it would actually work. I think that eventually they would be like, she would be too into herself, he would be too into himself, and it just would not work. But she decided to go with SK because she felt like she was more emotionally, again, vulnerable in that space. So she went with SK. So then Bartise and Nancy meet, and it's like, oh, you this, you that, hey, like all the feelings, right? All the feelings. And, they was getting it in, they was doing the things, he was doing the things, but he gives me weird vibes too. I was like, there's something that's off. I don't know what it is, but something is off with this man. Okay, something is off. And I don't know, like, if it's like corny energy or like fake energy or I want to be on TV energy. I don't know what it was. But for me personally, I was like, something is up with Bartise. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. But then he showed his true colors when they was at this meeting. And he saw, in the, let's producers be knowing what they be doing. they be producing. So in the like confessionals, he's like saying these things like, yeah, if I saw Raven, in real life, like we would be together. And like, how come her and SK are apart? And why is he like, I don't think they're going to be together and blah, blah, blah. Then he tells Nancy in the bed, I just want you to know, like, Raven, you don't tell somebody that you're engaged to that you would be dating this woman that you were dating in the pods in real life because of what she looks like. Like, she's what I would have gone for and all these things. And it's not going to work out. Like, because in my brain, I was like, did you not watch Jared last season? Because he did the same shit. And there was fallout from that. So I don't know if you watched it or if like the seasons blended because they go to different cities. So maybe the seasons blended and he was like, listen, I'm going to be a repeat of Jared. Like I did that. Like, why would you? I don't know. So Nancy, of course, he was like, I hope you're okay with me being that honest with you. No, I'm not okay. But she's like, yeah. And honestly, like, I'm a processor, so sometimes I'm not ready. I'm not quick with it. I don't be like saying stuff right away. Sometimes I need some days to be like, okay, girl, what's like, what you feeling? And I think that's what Nancy's going to do. And we will see in part 2. But that was just not okay. Like, don't tell her that. Go tell your friends. Call somebody. But don't tell her that. No. I just met you. And this is crazy. And you telling me that you gonna meet somebody else and want to be with them. Like, no. So, Bartise. And from the previews again, it looks like her family is not happy about Bartise at all. Not even a little bit. So then we're gonna go to let's talk about the couples outside of them. So let's talk about Raven and SK. People get to choose like who they want to be with. And again, like, this is an experiment about love being blind. So like, you connect with someone without ever seeing them. So maybe you're like, the connection is great and what they look like don't matter. But I don't know if that, I'm not saying Raven is stoic, but also you can't tell like if she's like, I'm not really attracted to him, or she's really scared of like what it means to like love someone and be vulnerable. And it sounds like me and my friend have this thing that like pretty girls don't have to be anything more than pretty. So when you don't have to be anything more than pretty, you don't have to like do anything because everybody's doing everything else. Whereas like girls that are like in societal standards not pretty, they have to work harder to like, they have to have more to their personality. That's kind of where Ballerina Girl, I really want to know her name because I really am particular about names because people be messing up my name. But I think that's why when you're pretty, you don't have to do much work. And so you don't have to go deep because, oh, I'm pretty. That's it. So you don't have to have like layers to you. You could just be like, I'm pretty. So you're just going to have to deal with that. So because of that, I think Raven has actually not developed those parts of herself based on being pretty. like pretty privilege is a thing. Like, let's not sit here and be like, oh my God, she light skinned, she got pretty eyes, like she bomb. She bomb. I'm not mad about it. So with that being said, when that hasn't necessarily been developed, or and also again, life experiences have happened to someone, like it is easy to like be closed off and not necessarily be like able to like give space to like those other parts of yourself, if that is a fear, and if you've been hurt before, like so many things, I'm sure. And I'm not saying that her prettiness takes away from like her life experience at all whatsoever. So her and SK, like, I think he's patient though. He's allowing her to be like, I'll give you space, I'll allow you to like take your time. And that's what like it looks like, to like allow people to be emotionally available, like giving them space to decide when they're ready to do that. I'm not saying wait forever, because that's it's not a good look, but also like it makes sense. And I think that eventually she'll open up. I don't know if they'll get married, like that's kind of a up in the air thing for me. But I think she'll like go along with it. It feels like a little going along with energy too. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. So next we're gonna go to, I don't know the couple's name, but the first people that got engaged, I don't know their names, but they got engaged, and theirs was really fast. And again, I don't know timelines. Like they could have been dating for like 2 weeks, but it felt real fast, real quick, real easy. Like, I don't know. And I don't really have anything to go off of, because it doesn't seem like they have any issues at the moment. I thought old girl was gonna be a problem, but she's not right now, so I don't think she will be. So I don't know about them. I'm kind of up in the air about them too. Like I don't have any like frame of reference to hold like, oh yeah, no. Lastly, I believe lastly, Cole and Zanab. So I want to call her Zainab, but it's not, it's Zanab. But so they had a really good chemistry in the pods, and they were like, yeah, like Cole decided not to go with the ballerina chick because of how Zanab was showing up, and like he felt like he could give more adventure. There is an age gap also with them, 6 years, I think. Cole is like 26, she's 31, she's a flight attendant, and they just was like, yes, do these things. And so when they met, I think it was very much like, yes, like they were enjoying each other. And I think that when he saw her, I think he was like pleasantly surprised about what she looked like. And I think Cole is cute too, like blue-eyed boy. So they're both like, they're a cute couple. Where the switch happened though was when Cole said, you do look really different without your makeup. Like you look like a different person. And then that was like a immediate like switch. Like she just, insecurity came up real quick. And we are all insecure. Cole's even insecure. Like everybody in this world is insecure about something. Some men, women, everybody are insecure about something, about their bodies, about their personality. It doesn't matter. Everybody has insecurities. But I think it caused her to be way more in her head about like her looks, because now it's like, well, I'm not pretty enough. And it's possible, again, this has to do with previous relationships, previous trauma that she might have gone through with like just not feeling good enough, not feeling pretty enough, culture, all the things. So that was like a big shift. And though they like had sex with one another, it still created a really big shift in the relationship. Because the next morning, it was like, what? Are you feeling something? What's happening? Like, she's in her head and she doesn't know how to express those feelings that are in her head. And Cole's just like, I'm just tired and I'm like feeling things. And then even on their date, it was so like, she was making comments like jokingly serious though. And she just wasn't being fun. And I think Cole's a lot of fun. Cole likes to have fun. And I think that she was just stressing him out. And he's like, girl, like, we just here. But there's some control that she has. And like, there's things that are there that I see from her that I don't think that it's going to work out because of that. And then also, again, Cole is having this conversation with Bartise and SK, and he's like stating like she's this, she's that, like all these things that are scaring him. And I think rightfully so, though. I'm not gonna say that he's wrong in that. I as I'm watching it, I'm like, ugh, girl, this don't feel good. And like, he's like, everything is very like to the T, and like he doesn't operate that way. So it's just a like mending of like personalities. And so I don't think that their personalities mesh. I think she's beautiful. I don't think that she's ugly. That's just my opinion. Like, granted, because of my own work about what I believe beauty is and how I view myself, I view women different than I used to. Like, oh, she's this, she that. Like, I don't do that no more. And so I think that there's like beauty in her. But then again, there's these things coming up with Cole and Ballerina Chick. And like, he's like, I actually would have went for her if I saw her in real life. And I'm just like, the point, and to be honest, the point of the experiment is that, yeah, you would have went for her in real life. That's why your ass is single. That's why you came on the show. At least I thought so, because you don't want to do that no more, and you want to create substance, and you want to create like some type of, energy that's different than what you was getting before. And granted, let me say this, like, you have to be attracted to the person you're with. So I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying you need to settle, but I am also saying, did it work for you the last time that you was doing it? Like, because if it did, you wouldn't be doing this show. It's kind of like Married at First Sight, same shit. But it's not the same. It's different. It's the same but different, because it is blind. Like, they don't get married right away in Love is Blind. They get married right away in Married at First Sight. So with that said, I just think it's about to go down with a lot of people. And the only people I have like to hold on to is the first couple, and I really don't know their names. It starts her name and his name. I don't know the people that were the first to propose. Yeah, that couple. That's the only ones. And I saw the preview show, like, also the family was not playing with him, and he didn't like it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna say my predictions. I say Cole and Zanab is a no. I say Raven and SK is a maybe. I don't have a yes or no for that one. I'm going to say Nancy and Bartise is a no. I'm going to say that Matt and Ballerina Girl is a no. And then I'm going to say that the first couple is a yes. And I don't have much to go off of my yes. But I'm going to say, I'm going to give myself hope that at least one couple is going to be a yes. And it's going to be them. So there's my review of the Love is Blind reality show. Again, if you have any feedback or comments, click it. Not click it below, but like do it below. And I'll see y'all in the next review.